Imagine you are sitting at the piano, ready to play your favorite song, but suddenly you are stuck. You know there's a secret behind how the chords just flow together, but all of that complicated theories make your head spin. You spent hours upon hours trying to memorize scales, diagrams, feeling frustrated every time you can't just figure out what chord comes next. However, you dream of effortlessly playing smooth, flowing progression without all the guesswork. There's a simple tool that works like a roadmap, guiding you step by step through the chords. This tool is the circle of fourth. It takes away the confusion and shows you exactly how chords connect in any key at all. No more endless theory or memorizing difficult patterns. Instead of memorizing this endless theory, you can just use one simple tool, that is the circle of fourth. Once you understand it, finding the right chords will feel as natural as following a familiar route back home. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to use the circle of fourth to determine the progression of a song instantly. Please watch till the end so you don't miss out on important information. What is the circle of fourth? The circle of fourth is a simple visual tool in music theory that shows you how chords relate to each other based on the interval of fourth. Think of the circle like a musical clock. Each number on the clock is a different key. At 12 o'clock position, we start with C. That is the key most people are comfortable with. Now, if you split the circle into two, that is, you split the circle in half, the right side contains the flat keys while the left side contains the sharp keys. Remember, the term key and scale mean the same thing. Starting from C, moving to the right, we reach F, the key with one flat. It's positioned at 1 o'clock, much like a clock face. The key of F has just one flat, and that is B flat. And at 2 o'clock, we have B flat, which has two flats, B flat and E flat. And the pattern continues. We have the key of E flat at 3 o'clock. E flat has three flats, which is B flat, E flat, and A flat. And at 4 o'clock, we have A flat. A flat has four flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, and E flat. And at 5 o'clock, we have D flat. D flat, which is also known as C sharp. D flat has five flats. These are B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. You can see the pattern forming. Each step introduces one additional flat. Now let's switch over to the sharp keys on the left side. One step to the left of C is G. Now for the circle of fourth, according to this diagram that I am using in this lesson, moving in the clockwise direction is the circle of fourth. However, if you should move in the reverse direction, it becomes what? Circle of fifth. One step to the left of C is G. G has one sharp. If you imagine the reverse clock, this would have been 1 o'clock. So the sharp in G is F sharp. The key of D at 2 o'clock has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. The key of A at 3 o'clock, the key of A at 3 o'clock has three sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. At 4 o'clock, we have the key of E. The key of E at 4 o'clock has four sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and G sharp. The key of B at 5 o'clock has five sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. Now the overlapping notes at the bottom of the circle. Something interesting is happening. The key of B is also known as what? C flat. They share the same notes. Similarly, G flat and F sharp are also the same, and D flat and C sharp are also identical. This means that while the full circle appears to have 15 keys, there are really only 12 unique keys. The bottom three are harmonically really equivalent. They are the same scales but with different names. Now, so how do you memorize a circle? Now, you might be wondering how to remember all of these. Here's a little trick. For the flat side, remember the word bead, B-E-A-D, and then add G at the end. So you have bead G, which represents the order of flats. For the sharp sides, you just reverse it, starting from G and moving backward through the order. An old lady once told me a funny way to remember this. You put beads on a string, a G string. So think of bead on a G for the flat side. And there you have it. This method helps you break down the circle, making it easier for you to understand and apply in your playing. Now pause for a moment, just 5 seconds, and click that thumbs up button. Every like helps me keep the content coming. Thanks a lot. Chapter 1, the circle of fourth roadmap. This is 4, which is F. This is 5, which is G. And this is 2, which is D. Now the numbers I'm using is the number system. Our 1 is our Do, 2 is our Re, Mi is our 3, Fa is our 4, So is our 5, La is our 6, and Ti is our 7. We have 4, which is F, our Fa, and this is 5, G, and this is 2, which is D, and this is 6, which is an A, and this is 3, which is an E. Have you ever heard the term relative minor? You know, every major key has a corresponding relative minor. So in the key of C, A is a relative minor. We'll come to it shortly. Now on the circle, C is the home, G is a husband, and F is a wife. If the husband leaves home, that is, if the C chord moves to a G chord, almost always, just like a GPS, 1 moves to 5. The husband almost always knows how to get back home. Every husband loves his wife, so therefore, if he leaves his home, he will surely find his way back home. So if the C goes to G chord, that the 1 goes to the 5, it will always return back to what? 1. If the wife, F, leaves home and goes shopping, she usually finds her way back. If C moves to F, it goes right back to 1. But every once in a while, sometimes they leave their GPS and then they tend to get lost. If she gets lost, she can call her husband or go to her husband, and both of them will go home. But when using the circle, I can just follow it, right, which is C moves to G, and 99% of the time, the third chord is going to be what? A C. If a C chord moves to a F, there's a 90% chance that it's going back home. But if it doesn't, it usually goes to pick up the husband C, and then they all go back home to C. That's how it works. Now, what if I'm not in the key of C? Let's say I'm in the key of F. What are the 3 major chords in F? F, B flat, and C. Good job. If F moves to C, what's the next chord? Back home, F. If F moves to B flat, what's next? Back home, F. Now here comes this little other guys, the minor relatives. Okay. So we've got a husband and a wife all set at home. But then there are these relatives which we also have in a circle. The main relative is Uncle Albert. Uncle Albert's house is at 9 o'clock, just around the corner. So if the major chord is at 12 o'clock, the tonic of the key, then the relative minor is always at 9 o'clock. The one to the right and the one to the left are the other 2 minor chords. Check this out. In the key of C, this rule holds. Look, there's D minor right there, A minor, and then E minor. Do you see? So I have every step of the scale from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And if I go all the way down, I just cut the pie into half. There's that diminished chord down there. That's the last chord in the C scale. So from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, those are all the chords that appear in the key of C. Pretty cool, huh? So if I put F at 12 o'clock, pretending that 12 o'clock is F, what do I get? The major chords will be F, B flat, and C. The minor chords, they are D minor, A minor, and G minor. Aren't you glad there is a circle? Okay, so if I'm in B flat, the first chord is B flat. The second chord is what? D minor. What's the next one? G minor. Then C minor. Then F major. Then B flat. Remember, one to the left and one to the right are major. Now, so if you have enjoyed this explanation and it's made a difference for you, please pause for a second and click that thumbs up button. Then subscribe. This small action means a lot and keeps me motivated to produce more content. Thanks so much. Chapter 2, Understanding the Circle of Fourth. Let's spread out the scale of the key 4 times like this, and I move in the anti-clockwise direction, counting 4 steps from 1. For my right, counting 4 steps from the 1, we have the 4. Counting 4 steps from the 4, we have what? The 7. Counting 4 steps from the 7, we have 3. Counting 4 steps from 3, we have 6. Counting 4 steps from 6, we have 2. Counting 4 steps from 2, we have 5. And counting 4 steps from 5, we have 1. So this is actually the natural way most song progressions move. They move in a stepwise motion of fourths. Chapter 3, Applying the circle of fourths to determine the progression of a song. Step 1, identify the key of the song. Start by figuring out the key of the song. This means knowing which set of notes and chords naturally go together. For example, if a song is in C major, then most of the chords and notes will come from the C major scale. If you struggle with the key of a song, click here to find the easiest and fastest way to get the song key without sweat. Click here. It shows you the easiest and fastest way to find the key of a song. Step 2, examine the melody for standout notes. Listen to the melody and pay attention to any notes that really catch your ear. These stand-alone notes or standout notes can give you clues about which chord might work. So for instance, if the melody is in E, for instance, this. Right, you have E in the melody line. Jehovah, E in the melody line. You can tell from the key of C that the chord can be C major, C, E, G, because you have what? The E. It can be an E minor, E, G, and B because of the notes. Right, so the melody line would help you locate which chord you're going to start with. Is that right? So after you have found that chord, just go to a circle of fourth and then look for the chord that contains that note. Once you've identified a standout note, you use the circle of fourth as your guide. This circle would organize the chords based on their relationship by fourth, and then you look around the circle to complete your progression. Step 4, follow the road map on the circle of fourth. Follow the circle as a road map for the rest of your progressions. This circle shows you the natural flow between chords. Let me use El Shaddai. Right, so now let me find my first note. This is a key. El Shaddai. This note is our F, which is our Fa. Now in the major scale of C, I have my second chord, which is what's D minor chord containing an F. Our Re, D, F, A has an F. F major also has an F. Right, so I can choose any of these two chords because they contain my melody notes. So let's go. I'm going to play the chord with my left hand. You see. Now let's continue. Now when I come to my circle of fourth diagram, I can see that my D minor moves to my G major. You see. Then from my G, back to 1. Right. Now from my circle of fourth, my C chord can move where? To my 4 or to my 5. So let's use all of them and see. You see, this 4 also fits very nicely. Let's continue. And then for my circle of fourths, my 4 moves to where? My 5. Then back to 1. So let's see. You see, then back to 1. Now, assuming I decide to move to my 6, like this, to my 6, my circle of 4 to tell me that from my 6 I have to go to where? My 2, which is D minor, then to G, then back to 1. You have learned how to use a circle of fourths to create smooth natural chord progressions. I would love to hear from you. If this lesson helped clarify things, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more simple music tips, and leave a comment below sharing your experience or any questions that you may have. Your support truly motivates me to keep making content. Thanks for watching, and it's bye for now.